Alright, what's going on, Afghan Nation? I'm your host, FG. Welcome back to some more Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Last we left off, we were in pursuit of Dr. Bad-Boon and found our way to the amusement park. And on the way to his secret lair, he pulled one up on us and shrunk us down to size, where he then took us to these abandoned woods, or lost woods, something like that, where he was making a boiling pot of soup in affection for Mimi. If you haven't figured out already, Dr. Bad-Boon is kind of a creep. But anyways, welcome to World 6, the Boiling Pot. And along with World 7, I would argue that these two worlds are the hardest that the game has to offer. As a matter of fact, I never beat the original Super Monkey Ball 2 story mode because of this world alone. And as I mentioned in earlier episodes, there's one particular level that we may or may not check out that is especially infuriating. But for now, let's just keep going forward. So, these are some of the hardest stages that the game has to offer. Of course, the game only gets harder, but you get the idea. So for now, let's just start with the first stage here, Spiral. And this is when you really gotta play with the momentum of the stage itself, and make sure that you're not going too far into the leans. So, let's just start. And as we continue forward, we're gonna get a good look at this pot of soup that Dr. Bad-Boon's making. And why is there a fish in soup? Part of me wonders if this game got lost in translation, where this was actually meant to be a stew instead of a soup. Because the one thing I don't understand being here is the fish. Is there a fish soup? Maybe there is, but compared to the rest of the ingredients, you got carrots, you got onions. Why is there a fish of all things? I don't get it. I really don't get it. But anyways, let's keep going forward. Punch seesaw, we're going to see some seesaws here, and this one might be a bit of a struggle because the way it leans into it. Let's just try it out for hand. Keep up. Okay, we're going to try it one more time then. Keep moving forward. If I'm thinking from the top of my head, some of my go-to soups include chicken noodle soup. There's always broccoli cheddar soup, that's a good one. There's like this seafood soup. Yeah. It's got like crab meat and stuff. Pretty good. Haven't had it all the time because it's like a mix of stuff that's like really expensive, but still. That's a really good soup to try out if you have your free time. But I don't know really any soup that has fish in it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if there is a soup that uses fish, because I'm at a loss. Oh, we are... No. No! Lack of speed! Alright, let's give it one more time because we were close to completing it. But anyways, last episode we were actually talking a little about the history of Super Monkey Ball. And we ended off when it came to the reboot era that was Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. So let's talk a little more about the rest of the history and more or less modern times for Super Monkey Ball. So after Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, there was another game that came out for the Wii. But there was another game that also came out with the release of the iPod Touch. And it used a lot of assets that were similar to both Banana Blitz as well as Monkey Ball Touch and Roll, as a matter of fact. However, the game itself today was pulled, well, not pulled today, but has been pulled from the iOS App Store, which means no one's able to play it anymore. But there is another game too, a sequel per se, and it is known as Super Monkey Ball 2 Sakurai Edition. Not to be confused with the original Super Monkey Ball 2, but rather it's a sequel to the iPod Touch Super Monkey Ball and actually has full 3D sets as opposed to some of the reused ones as shown in the first Super Monkey Ball for iOS. But let's keep moving forward here. Do not fall down below. There we go. And then sometime later we saw the release of another Wii game in the Super Monkey Ball series, Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll. And in some ways, I would say it's a little better than Banana Blitz, because Banana Blitz was pretty different compared to the series as a whole. The one major addition included that other games didn't is the ability to jump, which means there were certain stages that were made just specifically mined for jumping, which in some ways does make the game a little harder. As a matter of fact, the game is also home to several boss fights at the end of each world. So it is definitely a challenge compared to other games in the series, but I would call it pretty different compared to the other games. At least in my opinion. Whereas Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll feels like it was trying to go back to the roots of the original Monkey Ball series, and it even featured the Wii balance board as a control mechanism. While it was optional, I do think it was one of the main gimmicks for the game itself. And also had one of my favorite characters in the series named Jam Jam. Whenever you go into like a different mode or you load into the maps, you always hear him go like, "Jam!" and something like that. It's pretty funny. And then there's always like these range cutscenes where you see him like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was like always some like unique animations. I enjoyed Step and Roll. It was basic at most, but for what it was, it felt like it was a good addition to the Monkey Ball series. But going forward, after Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll, we actually saw a slight hiatus until the release of the Nintendo 3DS, where we saw Super Monkey Ball 3D. And that was when I started to see there was a little bit of a breaking point in the series. It was pretty short compared to the rest of the games in the series. At least the main game, that is. And then when it came down to the party games, they weren't really as original as you remember them to be. As a matter of fact, with Monkey Ball 3D, I would say some of the games feel like they were blatant knockoffs of other games, be it Mario Kart or Super Smash Bros. It's just my mindset, but they really didn't have no longer that unique sense that we saw in other games in the series. It just felt like, well, bare bones, I suppose is the right word to say. And that was pretty disappointing. And then we came to the last game in the series as of 2019. Super Monkey Ball for the Vita, the PlayStation Vita, the now discontinued PlayStation Vita. And for good reason, it did not sell well at all. I don't know what the reason was behind, but I can think of one reason. It was the PlayStation Vita, and not a lot of people had the PlayStation Vita. Okay, I'm not going to be able to complete the stage because of how thin it is and my limited control scheme here, but let's just keep moving forward. Because if I had a PlayStation Vita, maybe I would have gotten it, but I don't have a PlayStation Vita. I had a 3DS. So, for what it was kind of the, I don't know, would I call it a missed opportunity or a forgotten game? It was overlooked, I guess you could say. But for what it was, many have said that it's really not as original compared to the other games in the series. As a matter of fact, it was pretty basic at most. And so we find ourselves here in 2019, and the last, well, it's not a game per se, but the last time we ever actually saw II and his friends was in a iOS and Android clone of the game Peggle. That was the last we ever saw Super Monkey Ball, a game on phones based on another game. And to me, that's a little sad. And I don't know if we'll ever see another Super Monkey Ball come out again, but for what it is, I do think, one, it needs a new direction that pays homage to the original games by AV. And two, it's gotta have some unique set pieces that makes it different compared to other games in the series. Something that's along the lines of original again. Something that still feels true to its nature, but something we really haven't seen in, really, who knows how long. And if I'm being honest, I can only think of one game that has managed to capture this kind of attention. And it's not even made by SEGA. I'm going to mention this game at the end of this LP, but some of you may already know where I'm going with this direction. And for those that do know what this game is I'm mentioning, you've probably already played it. And for good reason. But anyways, we're going to show off the stage here. No one will be able to beat it. But this is known as Switch Inferno. And in this stage, there's a series of buttons throughout the stage itself that activate the goal here. You can't go in the goal because the goal is hidden. But, oh no, my monitor went to sleep again. I gotta change that in the settings before next episode. But, only one of these buttons actually makes the goal pop up like it should. However, the rest of the buttons will send me flying to a horrible death. So let's just push this button, and it will send me flying. I don't know which button completes the stage. I don't have the time or the willpower, because it's been more than over a decade since I last tried. So, let's just go with an easy stage and call the world complete. For this one, all we gotta do is watch out for the gap here and go around the stage. And this has been the Boiling Soup World. Again, this is something I struggled a lot with as a kid, but thanks to I stuttered there. But thanks to Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, we can finally move forward with the story.
Oh, you see how Mimi? Yeah. See, he must snap.
Yeah, I got nothing to say. This is as strange as the game gets, by the way. The next world is a laundry machine in a Zen garden in Dr. Bad-Boon's hot tub. Yeah, words can't describe just how strange this world is. Or how strange this game has gotten because of the Worlds Incorporated. There's one thing later games in the series have not gotten. It's the craziness that is the worlds featured in Monkey Ball 2. Later games felt pretty generic to the point where, okay, so you got the jungle stage, you got the desert stage, you got the sherbet stage, you got this, I can't think of a fork example, but you got the idea. Yeah, nothing could top something like the top of a laundry machine. But this is already the halfway point in the game, which means it's only going to get harder from here, and it also means that we're halfway done with the story itself. So, stay tuned for next time as we continue with more of Monkey Ball's story mode. And if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like and comment below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. But seriously, how do you top a laundry machine?